Well, I was really hoping I would never actually have to make this video, but here we are. So if you're not aware, me and two of my friends have been working on a Jurassic Park inspired fan game for the past 2 years. We've put so much love and care into this game and learned a lot in the process. And we've been making it all in Dreams for PlayStation 4 and 5. Recently, I made a video going into detail about what exactly the game is going to be, and I would recommend watching that or the trailer before you watch this video so you get some more context about the game. In that video, I brought up the problem of copyright and the potential for Universal to intervene. Well, about a month ago, I checked my email and saw the thing I was dreading ever since we first shut off the game, a letter from Universal. Before I continue, I want to make it clear the only reason I'm making this video is to update people on the state of our game and why things will be changing. I'm not going to show the letters, but I will summarize the key points they made. But before I do, I just want to say that they were very nice with how they approached me, and I would ask that no one go harassing or attacking Universal over this. They made this decision strictly to protect their intellectual property, and the ones asking us to remove it from our game are only doing their job. Now on to their points. They know we want to release the game for free in Dreams, and they understand the goal of our game and how meticulous we are in maintaining accuracy from the films. This is why they brought up their concern of our game looking so good that it could be confused for an officially licensed game. While I see their point, I've never claimed it to be an official game. In fact, in every video title and description about the game, I have very clearly stated it's a fan game. So, naturally, I brought up the idea of using a disclaimer or watermark that clearly sends the message that our game is not officially licensed, but unfortunately, they completely ignored that idea. Another big point they made was the potential for us to damage the vision of their filmmakers. They also wanted to protect how their fans experience the franchise. Again, I would completely agree with this point if we were claiming our game was official, but we aren't. And something I found just a little funny was that a key example they made of something that could damage the vision of their filmmakers was allowing dinosaurs to speak, because their filmmakers would never allow that. Now obviously, when I got the initial letter, I started panicking. I thought this was the end for our game, and we would have no other choice but to comply. And while this is still somewhat true, I decided to just throw it out there and ask if we could officially license the game. But, as expected, they responded saying they weren't interested. Something I found interesting was that they said our game was different from their officially licensed games, and this is definitely true. Not once in the nearly 30 years Jurassic Park has been out have they gotten an official game even close to something like what we've been making. Sure, we've gotten some good games along the way, but a lot of them are just the same game, releasing over and over again. Don't get me wrong, they're good games, but I would just like something a little different for a change, and I'm sure many of you would agree. And I know some of you are going to say, didn't you see this coming? And the answer is, not really. There have been a lot of fan games released in the past without any intervention from Universal, and some are still available to play to this day. I wonder why they are only now deciding to crack down on fan games. I theorize it could be because of the popularity of Jurassic Park operations, or maybe it's because they're finally working on an official game like this, but who knows? So here we are. We really have no other choice but to remove the IP from our game, and it breaks my heart to have to deliver this news to you. It was genuinely my dream to work on a Jurassic Park fan game. And as risky as it could be, I'm not going to let a particular pebble in my shoe stop us from finishing what we started. Especially since we're this close to finishing the demo.
We're going to open next year, that is if the lawyers don't kill me first. I don't care for lawyers, do you?
So we're going to continue development as normal for Jurassic Park operations, but we won't be releasing it to the public. Don't worry if you bought Dreams specifically for this game though, we will be releasing a public version without the intellectual property. Unfortunately, this means we won't be continuing development past the demo. What was planned for the demo will now become the full game. This means no story mode, and a lot of other things will have to be cut. After we finish the project, we will likely move on to something completely new and original, but you can expect the same levels of quality and polish. Of course, there's always the very slim chance of Universal changing their decision, if the right person at Universal were to see this. But again, I don't want people to go harassing anyone over this. If you really want to do something, then I would encourage you to spread the love and excitement you had for this game. Leave a comment, or maybe share this video, because the more people that see this, the higher chance we have of maybe, just possibly, getting permission to continue this game. To me, it kind of feels like fan games are in a similar situation to how Nintendo used to treat people doing Let's Plays of their games. They would copyright strike anyone who they didn't approve playing their game, and while yes, they are technically using their IP, they are also generating interest and positivity towards it. I get it if people are selling and making money from a fan game, or hurting the image of the IP, but more often than not, fan games are harmless and only serve to do good for the intellectual property. Think of Five Nights at Freddy's or Sonic fan games. There are tons, and as a result, they have some of the biggest and most passionate fan bases. When there aren't any new movies or official games coming out anytime soon, fan games can serve to reinvigorate interest and excitement towards a brand. You have all been nothing but kind and supportive in the comments, and I can't thank you enough. Hopefully I'll be able to get away with continuing to upload updates and devlogs about our game, as long as I make it clear that it's fan-made and that we aren't releasing the version with the Jurassic Park IP publicly. I really wanted to do something special for the Jurassic Park fanbase, and for the 30th anniversary of the original film, but unfortunately it had to turn out like this. Before I go, I want to say thank you to all my patrons, and thank you all so much for 10,000 subscribers. That is just absolutely insane. Anyway, this has been Krenautican, and I'll see you next time.